Good morning, everyone. Hello, happy Saturday. For those of you who haven't met me yet, I'm Verena and I am coming to you live this morning from beautiful Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. So yeah, where I'm taking a nice, beautiful weekend out in nature. So I usually live in Berlin, which I like. I like the, liberal spirit and all the different things that you can do there. But from time to time, I just really need to get out into the quiet space of nature to fully reset my nervous system and truly rest. And yeah, this fits perfectly into the topic that I'm coming live here today to talk about. And what I want to share is why many people, and especially women that I talk to, feel tired even when they're not doing much. So there's this constant sense of fatigue or exhaustion, tiredness, even on the days when they're resting. And I can totally relate to that. So I still remember back when I was still employed in tech as a data scientist. Right now I'm no longer employed. I'm working as a freelancer, which gives me a lot more flexibility and a lot more control in terms of how I work and how much I work. But back then I was still doing full-time in a corporate job. And I remember that I was also feeling very exhausted, even on weekends. And there was even one point where we went on our yearly summer vacation, 2 weeks. And I, even during those full 2 weeks, I was still feeling very agitated and exhausted and just couldn't really relax. And yes, part of it was definitely about, all the effort that I was putting into that job I had at the time. But it's not just, we don't get tired only because of how much we do, but also what we do and how we do it. And the other crucial part is also, do we know our own rhythm? Can we feel our body's needs? Are we connected to what we need? And do we know and have we learned how to replenish our body and our energy? And a lot of us haven't, and I definitely did not back then. And well, over the years, I have learned to really replenish my energy and what it means to rest and also to work in a rhythm. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm doing less. I'm just doing it more in my own rhythm. And of course, this is something that not a lot of us have heard about, right? We're more trained to work like machines, like clockwork. Everybody starts working at the same time. We're supposed to be there at a certain time. We're supposed to follow everybody else's rhythm. And that makes us disconnected from our own body and from our inner timing and what we actually need. So what we really should learn and are allowed to learn again is to come back to our own rhythm and to connect to our body and to learn how we can do things in our rhythm and use the momentum that also creates then. But many of us still need to give themselves permission for that, right? We often feel guilty when we're resting. We're trained to be constantly productive and to constantly just be doing stuff. Sometimes people just keep themselves busy with to-do lists without even checking where they're going with it, right? It's just this constant sense of being busy, of doing something, because this is, what we've learned, what we think when we are productive. But productiveness actually doesn't only come from doing stuff, but it comes from doing things that have the biggest impact. And we need to take a step back and we need to rest and to recalibrate also to understand what are the things that actually move the needle and that make us really productive. And a big thing also is when you're just in constant execution and doing mode, when you don't have this time to go inward, to rest, to reconnect with yourself, then also your creativity doesn't flow. You're just stuck in doing, executing, and yeah, you simply don't have time to reconnect with your creativity, and new ideas won't flow in as easily. So productivity often is just getting things done, right? We just constantly want to get things done. And that takes away from the time to actually be creative, to find new ways, to be innovative also. Because it's a different kind of thing to be creative, to do something new, to do deep inner work and inner thinking, than to just, go from meeting to meeting, write an email there, reply to Slack there, where you're just doing these small tasks that basically don't require active or innovative thinking. And I remember there was a time in my career when I got the sense that if I wanted to be successful in this classical corporate context, I would need to control, right? So I was trying to control what projects to work on, which people to work with, who would see my work. So I was really trying to control as much as I could. And the interesting thing, of course, it became very exhausting, and it was obviously a complete illusion, because you cannot fully control anything ever, right? It's just too many things that are out of your control anyway. So control is just a sense of illusion, even if you think you can control things. But the interesting thing was that at some point it just got too exhausting. I was like, fuck it, I'm putting it down. It's just not worth it, even if it means that I won't get promoted, I won't get the kind of project that I want to work on. It's just not worth all this exhaustion and effort. So I let it go. I let go of all this control. And all of a sudden, things began to flow. So actually, the things that I wanted, so I wanted to work on a certain project, I wanted to work with a certain group of people, it happened, even though I let go of all that control. And that was really interesting. And I was like, okay, that's even better. So if I don't have to go through all this control thing, and things then even work out better for me, that's perfect. So then I started to explore that more and lean into that a lot more. And obviously now I'm in a point in my life where I have created a lot more freedom, where I'm able to create also a lot more flow, because I own my calendar more, I own my time more. But even back then, when I was still in the corporate environment, I took more control of how I worked, how I designed my day, and how I did things. So there is always something that you can already do, no matter what your external situation currently is. Yeah, and then coming back to, women in particular. So I think letting go of control and going more into flow is something that every human being needs, not just women, but women particularly need that, right? Because from our nature, we're cyclical beings, right? We have a cycle, we live with a cycle, where also our energy fluctuates throughout that cycle. So thinking that we need to have the same performance, same productivity, same output every single day just really goes against our nature. And also nature itself, right? It doesn't bloom all year. It's not creating all the time, as you can see, It's looking a little bit sad out there, right? Nature is resting, it's retreating, it's slowing down so that it can create again in spring. And also for me, for example, I took 4 weeks off over Christmas just to have really time to rest and reflect and go inward, so that now in this new year, I have a lot more energy, a lot more momentum and motivation to create again. And I know back when I was employed in this corporate context, is often this give 100 or 120% every single day throughout the year. And maybe you can do that for some time. But in my experience, and also the women that I talk to, there's a point where you either your body says no, or you just realize, okay, this is too exhausting. It's just not worth it. Yeah, and if you're at that point right now where you feel, oh, I'm longing for so much more flow in my life. I'd love to have more space and freedom. I know I would like to reconnect with my body. I would like to reset my nervous system and go into rest more and give myself permission to do that and reconnect to my inner voice and my inner wisdom, because that is the only way we can do it, right? If you're constantly in hustle mode, if you're constantly running, doing, there is no way that you can hear that inner voice. And that's also when you get really disconnected from your own needs and feelings, and you're feeling lost and empty, and you can't even really say what's going wrong, right? So in order also to be able to hear yourself again, reconnect with yourself again, flow is very important. And I created a free 4-week online course exactly about this topic, flow over force. Yeah, and we're gonna explore how to reconnect with your rhythm, how to soften control and trust in yourself again, and just trust in the flow of things and the flow of life more, so you can let go of that control and see what happens, like I did back then. So if that is something that speaks to you, or if you feel like you know someone who could benefit from it, like I said, it's a completely free experience, 4 weeks. We're going to have a mix of mindset work, so basically recoding beliefs, but then also we're going to work with the body, reconnect with our bodies to help us embody these new belief codes and reconnect to our inner voice. So if that speaks to you, I would love to welcome you during this free 4-week experience. Or if you know someone where you feel like they could benefit from this, a woman in your life, I would be very grateful if you would just forward this invitation to them. Okay, and before we close, I'd like to invite you now for a quick embodiment exercise. Just a brief moment to pause. So wherever you are, find a comfortable seat if you can. Close your eyes and just take a moment to reconnect with your breath here. And notice how your breath is softly flowing in and out of your nose. And now let's all take a deep inhale through the nose together. Hold the breath at the top for a brief moment. And now release it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Hold it at the top. And release it out through the mouth. You're welcome to make any sound or sigh with it. Inhale through the nose again. Hold. Sigh it out. One last time. Inhale through the nose. Hold. Out the mouth. Come back to your natural rhythm of breathing. Try to take a few deep breaths into your heart space. Breathe into your chest. Reconnect with your physical and also spiritual heart. Place all your awareness in the center of your chest. Lift your sternum slightly. Make sure you're sitting in an upright position with your spine straight. And let the breath be deep and slow. Imagining how you're sending energy to your physical and spiritual heart. And if there's a loved one or person that's dear to you that could use some of your love or compassion, you can also just send loving energy from your heart space to theirs. Maybe there's someone sick in your family, someone who's not feeling good right now. I love to do this every morning, sending loving energy to people in my life. And then slowly just come back to a normal breath again. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, come back. Yeah, thank you for being here this morning. I'm wishing you a lovely rest of your Saturday. Try to stay centered in the heart and would love to see you soon, either here or maybe in my course. Have a lovely day.